lot of people playing that again.
Really?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's going on, people? Welcome to another episode of the Next Podcast. As you can hear, guys, we were just kind of like backstage talking about games. I got to let you guys know something right now. For anybody who doesn't have the game yet, if you're just semi-interested, Watch Dogs Legion is absolute fire. Fire. Absolutely love this game. You know, the hitman, the spies, all the different people with the different traits and stuff like that you can kind of recruit into your crew. The game is absolutely bananas. And on the Series S experience, but guys, we have an incredible show lined up for you today. We get to talk about a lot of things. We had people laughing when we were going through the topics off air for certain situations and stuff like that. It's gonna be a good show. So guys, I'm doing it now. Yo, slap that thumbs up button. Let people know, share this out on social media as well. Let people know exactly where you are. It is Thursday night. It is prime time, baby. And it is time for the Next Podcast. We are getting into the intros right now. I'm going to start kind of in the middle. We're going to go to Lone Star State here. I'm going to introduce this man. I will let you know he has no first-party opinions tonight. They are all third-party. None of his opinions are made in his own head. Of course, it is Predator. What is going on, bro?
What's up? What's going on, guys? Yeah, I'm all third party today. Second party too.
Yeah, maybe. That's up in the air as well. But, dude, it's gonna be interesting tonight. I'm gonna go through these intros kind of like fairly quick. Get them out of the way. Let's get into the topic. So from there, we're gonna come all the way over here to New England, the home of clam chowder. For those clam chowder fans out there, and of course, we're gonna go to my brother Crispy Bomb. What is up, bro?
Why would you start with clam chowder? Yuck! That stuff is gross, bro.
I like Manhattan clam chowder, bro. Like,
let me give you some New Haven style pizza. There we go. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And yes,
New Haven
crispy.
style?
Yes, New Haven style. Yes, yeah. You didn't even know that, and you live like right around there. You being the Frank Pepe's, bro? Like, no. All right, yeah. I'm on a high. I got the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, so let's roll with it. Let's go into the gaming side of it. Let's do it.
Let's go, and let's go back to the middle of the country, coming live from the 405, and he's always there to talk to the intelligent gamers. Of course, my brother K Mega. What is going on, brother?
What's happening? Good to be here. Let's get it popping.
Nice. I'm loving kind of like the feel of the show right now. It's like smooth but yet energetic. Like I have a feeling this is going to be a good show. Dude, we get to talk a little bit of football, video game wise, man. K Mega, I know you got to be excited about that, brother.
Oh, absolutely.
Nice. Next, we're going to go all the way to the West Coast. Don't tell him, but his state will eventually fall into the Pacific Ocean. It is Dark Optimus himself.
Oh, I know.
Brother?
I know it will fall into the ocean, and I'm ready for it.
Do you put on scuba gear before you go to bed every night, just in case?
Dude, just in case, Yeah, honestly, I'm one of those people. I'll just go down with the ship. I don't give a fuck.
I can kind of see that, dude. I can.
I'm just like, all right, I've had my fun.
It was a good run.
It was a good run. It was a good time.
Let's be honest. It was all downhill from here anyway. So
Right? Yeah. Exactly. So.
Nice, brother. Well, as always, it is good to have you on the panel. A part of this panel for a while now, man. You're a veteran here on Next now. You realize that, right?
Starting to be, right? Yeah.
Starting to be. We got to get him a senior citizens card. Get everything going here. But all right. I think I got everybody. Of course, you guys know me. You're on my channel. It is Xbot448, aka King Neutral, aka The Grip. Again, guys, hit that thumbs up button, share it out. I can't wait to see if the super chat is working and whatnot. But we got to get into something. We're gonna spotlight our brother Dark Optimus because I guess he has recently played a game, and he wanted to give you his quick thoughts on it. Just real quick. He wanted the stage to himself about this, and I think he is the only one here that has experienced this game. So, yo, Dark, why don't you tell people what game you're talking about and how you feel, bro?
Destruction All Stars. It's awesome, man. What the fuck, dude? Like, how can you think that game is awesome? Like, it's completely and utterly like just it's so basic. It's like the most basic car destruction type of uh, multiplayer out there. Like, I mean, the characters are, it's kind of cool, that they got characters and shit, but like, I don't know, the game's just it's not fun, dude. There's no fun to be had. There's not enough content there. And I'm surprised that they were even thinking about putting a $70 price tag on this fucking game when it first came out. Like, why would you even remotely suggest people pay $70 for that game? Honestly,
They were thinking about throwing a $70 price tag on that game.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
$70. Thank God for PS Plus, and thank God for kind of Sony kind of realizing that the game probably wasn't going to be very good. So they definitely dodged a bullet on that one, a little bit, not too much, but of course, because the game still is pretty shitty. It's just I don't understand. I don't understand why people are so happy about this game.
Real
I'm
quick,
like,
what's so shitty about it? Does the game play like crap? Like
no. The gameplay is the controls are tight. Like, the controls and everything is tight. It's just it's generic. Like, it's just this generic
nothing new
type
kind
of
thing.
Yeah. It doesn't feel new. It feels very similar to pretty much Twisted Metal. Like, it just, I don't know. I didn't enjoy what I was playing when I was playing it. I mean, I know there's a lot of people out there who are enjoying it. It's just I
Brother,
played it
don't roll
for
it
maybe
back now.
about.
Own it, man. Own it. Come on.
I mean, I played it for like an hour, and then I deleted that shit off my console. I was like, I don't want this shit on my fucking console.
They got you for an hour. You were an active user, brother. So
Well, I wanted to at least give it a good old college try, but
that's disappointing to me, because that is definitely a game that when they did show it, I'm like, yo, I would definitely play that, man. But
I don't know. You might like it. It might be up
Are you
your alley.
saying I like basic bitch games? Is what you're saying?
Yeah,
man?
that's exactly what I'm saying.
Wow, brother. Wow. Yo, shout out to Doggy Dog 420. What is up, brother? It is great to see you. He says, and I quote, "The super chat works, people." Yes, it does. And Doggy Dog knows he is a professional at getting the super chat up and running. So shout out to you, brother. Dark, at least you didn't buy it. You know what I'm saying?
That's the good thing. I didn't have to buy it, which is good.
All right, bro. All right. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm a little disappointed as well, because that would have been one of the games, if I had ever, if I get a PS5, I would definitely try out or whatnot. But damn, hearing you say that, it's a little disheartening. But guys, a new game in Game Pass. Kind of, to me, it felt like it just dropped unexpectedly. Falconeer is on Game Pass. So for the people who have a Series S and a Series X, you can actually go and download Falconeer. And before we get into Falconeer, I just wanted to shout out our brother, The Don, in the chat. And brother, we didn't even have a 30-minute intro this time. We quickened it up. We livened it up. We got through it. But Falconeer is in Game Pass, and I gotta say, I tried it out. Gameplay wise, the gameplay mechanics, very solid. I thought it was really cool. Some of the artistry as well, like how your bird looks when it's flying through the sky, and you're doing like barrel rolls, kind of like the scenery, the lighting in the sky as it goes from like, day to night to morning, all look really good. story-wise, I'm a little kind of like, I'm hoping something really happens that pushes me to want to play it more for the story. But gameplay-wise, I'm definitely gonna jump in more and try it out. Let me go to K Mega. Mega, usually when a new game comes out, especially something like this, it's exclusive to the newer generation of consoles. Have you tried Falconeer, bro?
I'm playing it now.
Oh yeah, what do you think is so far? Like right on the scene as he's playing it, what are your thoughts? What are your feelings when it comes to how the game feels and stuff, man?
Game feels good. I'm not feeling it though. This is, I've been playing it for what, like 15, 20 minutes right now. I'm trying, I got through with the first little mission of getting the boat to the person. Beautiful looking game though. It's controls feel pretty good. I need to figure out the lock on system, because if it's not there, a lock on system, then I can see why it hasn't gotten a lot of attention, because it's pretty for I would consider myself a novice on this type of game. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't I'm trying to get the controls down. But for a person that's coming in just trying to play a game like this, yeah, it's got some aerial wise, when you're trying to attack on something. If I don't see how you get the lock on, I just just jumped in, just wanted to play. I'm not feeling that aspect to it, but I'm sure that there's more to it than that. But yeah, no, it's a really pretty game. I got what you were saying about the character models, but I don't think that really is important
No,
so
they're
much,
so small,
because
dude.
yeah, they're so small. I mean, the animations of the birds and things like, well, the bird so far that I'm playing with looks good. Like, yeah, and then the sky and then the water, all that. Yeah, no, it's one of those games that you play, and some people's going to like it, some people's not. For me right now, I have to say that it's not something that I would that I would recommend to a whole bunch of people to spend the money on. For right now, I could definitely have a different perspective of it the longer I play, but for right now, I'm just not feeling it that much.
All right, now K Mega, when it comes to this game, because we didn't hear anything about it going to Game Pass. Like at least I didn't.
Right.
If you heard it, definitely let me know on this. But I gotta ask you, do you think like this game going into Game Pass was planned from the beginning, or do you think like there was something there, like maybe it didn't sell what the developers, the publisher thought it would sell, and they looked towards the alternative, and Game Pass is a great alternative for that in terms of getting in more revenue once your game goes into Game Pass. Do you think it was planned, or do you think that this is might be kind of like a stopgap because they expected more units to go out?
Yeah, no, I think everything is planned. I don't think anything is just put into that, right off the bat. Now, I think if this was, I know this game has only been out for what, about, I guess, what, 4 months at the most. Actually, I guess let's look at it and say 3. That could be a possibility, but I think that this was already planned. Get out. It's a launch title. See how many people would be interested and want to jump on it and get it right off the bat. And then after that, pretty much when games kind of wind down after that 90-day mark or close to that 90-day mark, then they could just go ahead and just put it on Game Pass, and for the people who just weren't interested in the game. So, I mean, I looked at the game and I was like, oh man, I would give it a try, but then I seen the price and I'm like, there's, other games that I'd rather get, like Cyberpunk or, well, I know it's on Game Pass, but like if this is say that I was new to Game Pass and I wanted to get, the Gears DLC or whatever, so or some any other of the games that came out at launch, so or around launch. So I don't know. It could be, but I think that this was already planned, and and I think it's rightfully so. I think it was a smart move by them, in my opinion.
All right, I got you, brother. All right, so let's move on down the panel. Crispy, let's get you in on this, brother. Falconeer, and shout out to Killer Scorpion. Killer Scorpion, one of the newest members of the golf club, and Crispy, I don't know where you've been lately, man. I haven't gotten to play golf against you in what feels like forever. You have not.
Me, bot.
You have not
Sounds
graced
like he
the
does.
golf course, man. I don't know what's going on here, but
He misses me out driving him all the time. I mean, it's incredible.
see, I miss the camaraderie and the friendship, but if you want to take it over there, I miss whooping your ass, man. Is what I'm trying to say. All right, but yo, Crispy, when it comes now, Killer Scorpion said that the game was made by one guy, and that in and of
Correct.
it. That in and of itself, because we had Bright Memory, which was first created by one guy. He went ahead and he kind of gained a studio from that. Got a couple people involved and stuff like that. I mean, what's the deal with this, man? Like one guy's like, I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna make an entire game. It sounds like they were inspired.
Shaolin versus Wu Tang. That was made by only one person.
They were
as well.
inspired by the Don. The Don came out like a couple years ago saying he's making a game, and all of a sudden now developers are like, yo, we could do that too. See, Don, see what you did, man? You created a revolution here. But Crispy, do you think that this whole thing was planned? In terms of it eventually going to Game Pass, or do you think this is something that kind of came up later on?
I mean, it probably was planned because I feel like some of the funding that he got was probably from Microsoft. I mean, the game, even you said like it feels tight. It's not it's not any game that you're going to be like, oh wow, this is the greatest thing ever. For me, I mean, and for some of us, it's like, well, when do you get to fly as a falcon and do all these things? I mean. It's kind of it's a newer experience. Like usually it's dragons or something like that.
It reminds me of Panzer Dragoon, but not on the rails as much. You can kind of free roam a lot more than you could in Panzer, but it definitely reminds me of Panzer Dragoon.
So it feels. Do you feel like they could do something more with it? Like even add like DLC or something down the road? I mean, like make it feel more like more flushed out, type of thing.
I hear what you're saying. Like I'm in the beginning of it, so I really can't go in with a confident answer on that. But I can feel like it would definitely added content down the road to keep people involved and stuff like that would definitely be a bonus for it, man.
Well, I go and look at like something like Flight Sim, for example. Like it's super popular, like especially in the PC realm. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like a game like this is more like novice, but gives you that feeling of like being in the air, and especially being cooped up like we have been lately. You know what I mean? It's more or less like giving you like this freedom. You know what I mean? This freedom of not just like running across like an area or riding a horse or driving across it. You know what I mean? Like it gives you that extra freedom that most people haven't felt in a while. And I feel like that's why Flight Sim has done so well. You know what I mean? So, maybe this is a little to see the engagement involved in Game Pass. And it was probably planned. I mean, it's been out for a good period of time. He probably sold what he wanted to, but Microsoft's like, okay, let's bring it into Game Pass and see how much people are interested. And then, maybe you get some more funding or something like that. I mean, it makes total sense. Now, for me, I'm a little off put because from what I've seen from the game, I'm like, why can't I play this on my One X again? That's a question. Point. That's a question I have for myself. Like, okay, why isn't like this is where I have a problem. I think Xbox is isolating certain games to the series, and they're leaving out the One X because it has the one in front of it. And I feel that's just asinine.
I think it's because the game is pushing up to 120 frames, and maybe that's what the developer was wanting all along.
But it wouldn't play at 60 frames.
No, it can play. It plays 60 frames, but it can go up to damn near 8K 120 frames.
That's what I'm saying though.
And so I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like yeah. When Gears 5 came out with the 60 FPS multiplayer update that involves servers, everything else, and the game still runs super fluid on my One X. My point is like games that are, because you play a game like Gears, you are turning around like immediately. And it should be like super blurry and super crappy. Well, that's the kind of the same thing that you're doing when flying. And I feel like they could do it. I just feel like they're isolating to the series, and it's almost what we didn't want. But that's because the OG one and the 1S cannot handle that. And I get that. But why are you, saying, oh, the 1X, just because it can handle it, it has the 1 in front of it, we're done with you. That's not right. Not for somebody like me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think you make a great point, because from what I've seen from the game, I have no idea why it's gated to only the series of consoles. Series S, Series X. To be really honest with you, I don't see anything that would say, it looks incredibly sharp. Even on the 1S, I mean the Series S, looks incredibly sharp. It is really responsive and everything like that. But I think, Crispy, you do make a good point, because I don't see anything that screams absolutely next gen when it comes to this game. So why is it a series only title? I think you asked a really good question there. So I don't know. Let's get Predator in on this. Predator, what do you think about Crispy's question right there? I got to ask you, is Falconeer something that you would play? I know you do very limited runs on your Series X, or at least you used to only do limited runs on your Series X. But are you looking forward to downloading this and trying this game out, or have you?
I just downloaded it for the show just to try it out on PC, not on the Series X.
Ooh.
But it's there too. Just, I want to get all those frames out of it I can, so. But I mean, honestly, I wasn't feeling it. A little bit I just played just now. I'm like, nah. I can usually tell like the first 15 minutes of a game we're playing if I'm gonna like it or not, and I just was not feeling it at all. So, and I don't know why they just limit it, because the game doesn't look like it's that demanding.
Yeah.
Even on PC, I mean, it just doesn't look like it's that demanding where the 1X couldn't handle it. So I don't know why they just tied it to just the series.
Well, Jamie said in the chat that the 1X, it can be played on the 1X. I don't know though.
Oh,
yeah. So
I'm gonna try it out and let me know. But I don't know. I mean, I just
Dark, try to download it, bro.
I'm not feeling it, man. Like, I mean, maybe it just didn't
I'll
sell
try to
well.
download
They
it right
brought
now.
to Game Pass as soon as
Nice,
possible.
Crispy.
But I don't know. I wasn't feeling the game. The little bit I played, I'll try a little bit more of it. I'll give it a good college try, and see if I can get a little life out of the game. But it's like it's like some of these games that have come out since these consoles have launched have just been like booty. To me, it's like Destruction All Stars, like that kind of stuff. Like that. That's what we've been getting, and I think some of us are expecting these powerhouse games. Like right now, like with the launch, and it didn't seem like we got a lot of them, to be honest with you. If they came out, they're either broken or they're just like bullshit games. So
I said it before, it's the worst launch lineup. When it comes to multiple platforms coming out at once, this is the worst launch lineup we have ever had that I could see. Let's be real now.
I mean, yeah, you look back at some of the games that have come out since, what is it, November? When the consoles launched? I mean, like, look at the bad games, right? Let's just start with that. Just like the shitty games, like Bug Snacks and stuff like that. Like
that
no
game
one's
got
talking
an 80 some review. So
I mean, yeah, it got an 80, but like I've not heard one person talk about Bug Snacks since it came out. I've not heard one person talk about some of the other games that have come out. Some like again the shitty ones. Obviously, they're not gonna talk about them, but like I've not heard anything about some of these games. And I'm just like, man.
People are talking about two games: Demon Souls, which is a remake, right?
And Spider-Man.
And Spider-Man Miles Morales, which was DLC that was made into its own game.
And since those games got beat, like I haven't heard too much about those games either. So, after you like, and I hate to say one and done, but like let's be real, those people beat those games in like, a week, maybe two, if they took their time. They had other shit going on, and once they beat them, like they just fell to the wayside. And that's kind of normal for most games, but the way that people were hyping those games up in the beginning, you would expect it to keep them around for a little bit longer because Spider-Man sold really well, but like no one's really. Well, like I said, once they beat it, they just moved on to something else. It went
Hold
back
on
to
real quick. Christopher
Call of
Hart.
Duty.
Christopher Hart, you like Destruction All-Stars, right? I thought
Yes,
you
he
were one of those people that care about like Metacritic scores and stuff. So that's a little weird. Guys, like didn't it score like mediocre?
Is it
It scored a 67.
68? Chris, you like a 68 rated game? Oh my good. I don't know what to say, bro. Like me myself, I would try it out first and all that good stuff, but with all the stuff you have talked in the past, that is crazy, man.
And
Christopher
Christopher
likes
Hart,
a
I don't
68
have
game.
Demon Souls, but if I had Demon Souls, I would have beat it in a week. If I beat Assassin's Creed in a week, and I can definitely beat Demon Souls in a week. So,
Okay,
yeah.
so can I? So it is not. It just downloaded and it's starting up the start menu and
so
it's
it is
going
on
through the
one.
whole. So it's on the One X. I don't understand why they're saying that it's only for the series because it is working. I just downloaded off Game Pass.
Well,
It's probably
So-
not optimized for.
Yeah,
maybe-
maybe it's just so for the X itself and not for they don't want to get people confused and thinking that it's going to be on the One
So
S.
what I
or
want to
the
say to
Fat.
people, if you have a One X, you can definitely download this game. Right, it literally just downloaded in like
well,
I'd say
dude,
less than a minute.
try to get into the play and stuff like that. See if it if it plays and all that good stuff. Because some games they might let you download it, and as soon as you go to play, it's like, oh no, you don't have the system. So just make sure
Okay,
you play it real
Starting
quick.
it right now.
All right.
I'm starting it right now.
Yo, Mr. Zaffer, I do a Series Z. No, I have a Series S. Thanks to my brother RG Viper, who is in the chat on his break. Yo, shout out to you, brother. Thank you so much for my birthday gift, and I will be texting you later to let you know what's been. I've been going through some crazy stuff in my life, but I will let you know about that after the show, bro. But all right, so we can play Falconeer on the One X. I believe that is about to be confirmed.
Yes, it's confirmed.
All right, Dark.
I'm going through the prologue right now. So
Dark, what do you think about this move putting Falconeer on Game Pass? Was it a planned thing, or did they throw it in there to try to get this developer some more dinero?
It's like Destruction All Stars. They should have never asked money for it.
Oh, wow.
I'm just saying, like they should have never asked for any money for that game, for any of these games, for especially those type of games. Like put it in Game Pass day one. Like that game should have just been in Game Pass already. You shouldn't even had to
Dude,
buy
I thought
it.
it was. Yeah, I thought it was gonna go into Game Pass like day and date anyway.
Yeah, that's what I think a lot of people thought, and then they didn't do that, and then it was just like, oh, okay, well, now I either got to buy it, but now it's like some people might want to wait until they're for sure that it's not gonna go to Game Pass right away, because I mean, how long has that game been out? A couple months maybe.
Yeah.
And now it's already in Game Pass.
Well,
What does that tell you?
I mean, it's a good thing because now I'll try it because that's not a game that I was going to pay full price for.
Right.
But Dark, I gotta ask you the bigger question, the question that popped off when we went live and talking to Christopher Hart. How do you feel about Christopher Hart liking a 68 rated game on Metacritic, bro?
I mean, he can like whatever he wants. I mean, that doesn't faze me at all.
All the crap he talked about Metacritic scores for all these other games.
That's just what people do, man. You got to get over it, Like it's so stupid. Like I don't understand why people bring that narrative to gaming, anyways. Like who gives a fuck? Like really, honestly, who's sitting there playing video games and sitting there and saying, I actually give a fuck about the fucking Metacritic scores. Like no, you're not doing that. What you're doing is you're playing the damn game. That's it. So like that whole narrative with these guys and their fucking bullshit, it's stupid.
All right. Yeah, I cannot believe this. Christopher Hart, you need to go out on Twitter and just put a tweet out. I love a 68 rated game. Okay, you got to do that, man. I'm pretty sure, with all the stuff that you talk on Twitter, you're gonna get a lot of positive responses back in your direction.
He's gonna get a lot of positive responses from the PlayStation community. I'm telling you right now, the PlayStation community, and I'm part of that. They're sucking off the fucking Destruction All Stars right now, like hardcore. And I'm like sitting there like, what the fuck are you guys like loving this game so much? Like honestly, like I don't get it. Maybe it's because they want another Twisted Metal. Maybe that's what it is. But me, cars, things like that. I never get into that shit. So it's just I don't know. I don't understand it.
Pred, just don't do that to him, bro. Calm down a little bit, brother. But guys, on that note, let's move on. Let's get into something a little bit more juicy. People have been asking for another iteration of this franchise for a long time, and the thing is, when it comes to this franchise, there is some legal stigma going on in terms of the athletes. That's right, athletes, because it is a sports franchise. The athletes are, they're trying to get paid for their service. But guys, college football is coming back, people. The franchise so many people have wanted. Get your favorite, college football teams together. Now, the thing is, they're not going to have the likenesses of the actual players that are on these teams, and of course they're not going to have the names. You know what? I got to go to K Mega again on this because I know he has stuff to say about this. Mega, first off, I got to ask you, how excited are you that college football is coming back to video games, bro?
Okay, so I just want to say something about the Falconeer. Now I finally got the controls down, which that will turn people off already. And you know me, people can love or hate a game. I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to trash a game because it might not be something that I'm totally into. But I think that might be something problematic for a lot of gamers that's first time coming in. So if you guys have not played it already and tried to jump in, and if you're not, because I haven't played a aerial type game in a long time, so I'm kind of behind the curve on that. But if somebody who is familiar with maybe Ace Combat, stuff like that, this might be on the same wavelength. I don't know. But for people like me who jumped in, want to try it out, it's going to be kind of complicated. And so I had to turn the invert off, and then I had to actually kind of figure out how to guide my controller and see that it's mostly to keep it left, right, to get your aim. It's all on the left analog. Right analog is kind of like how you do with an actual shooter, but you're flying, and so it's kind of weird because when you look, you're looking up, but you'll fly up instead. So you just but if you do it with just the left analog, you'll keep yourself paced. And then you just go and do it. Yeah, but again, like you said, it was Panzer Dragoon's on rail, so it's not as difficult. If this is more free, but and now since I finally got it, it's a little bit better. I'm still not. It's not something that I would. And the price I think for what was no, the controls are smooth. I
would tell my NCAA football. Let's go.
I know. I just wanted to say, look, I mean, give it a try, get it for yourself. I just think that personally, it's not a game that I would, I know it's like $24 or something like that. I wouldn't pay for that. I'm glad that it's in Game Pass, to be honest with you. But anyway, all right. So, college football, man, this has been one of the greatest moments. Like, to start off the generation for me has been fantastic. I mean, I know that some people are down about, with CD Projekt Red's game with Cyberpunk. I went back and played old legendary
is
game.
Amazing, by the way.
I love Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk is on a whole nother level. It's buggy. That's why once they get this patched up and fixed, my God, that game is going to be on a whole nother level. Like, I can't wait to do my second, third playthrough with that game. But I've been feeling like especially the announcements of everything. We keep forgetting about like the whole pandemic situation. It's held a lot of things back. Some things in a good way, some things in a bad way, especially like with the Halo situation. But hearing all of these classics now starting to come back, it's kind of reminded me of like when fighters and towards the middle end of the PlayStation 3 360 era was kind of fading away, and then all of a sudden Killer Instincts pop in, and now fighters are starting to come back. That's how I kind of look at everything else and about what this generation is going to be like. And that brings me a lot of excitement. And hearing the announcement of this game coming back brings so much excitement. And what it's going to do is and for the people out here, I think Madden has done a fantastic job of building itself back to being a good football game, especially from last gen. It was just, well, not this gen, but the 360 gen was absolutely awful, just absolutely disgusting. But they've gotten themselves back up, but it's still, people still have that thought process of NBA of 2K football. And with bringing college, it seemed like it always elevated Madden to be better. And then it kind of at that time, especially, that's what I always was playing, was college. Then when I got my players completely out and build them up, and then I transfer them over to Madden. When they do that, it's crazy. Also, the point that you was making with like no player likeness and stuff like that, smart, because you got the locker room anyway, and there's going to be, I guarantee you, tons of people that's already going to have all the names, all the likenesses of all the players in their vaults.
Yep.
And EA don't have to worry about that.
And
so that's
I
cool.
hear what you're saying on that, but one thing. First off, I am excited for the game. All right, don't get it twisted. I'm excited for the game. Shout out to Notre Dame football out there, and then my second team is North Carolina. But with everything that's going on, with the players not getting paid and all that stuff, I do think it's kind of bad timing. Per se, like I'm down that the players need to get some type of compensation, and with this game coming out, they're not getting anything for this now. Even once this whole thing is settled, with the United States government, with the courts, and with NCAA, because there's no likenesses or anything in it, these
players are not getting paid now.
Yeah, I know, but they're getting close to getting paid though. It's moving.
Getting
forward.
close and getting paid is totally different.
No,
now,
I know.
that's the thing to me is where, like, I understood what the O'Bannons did when they did that, but that left me with a lot of disdain for them too, because it almost went to a point to where it was like, because I agree, college players should get paid, if that's the case, of how things are. And I understand the old guard, they think of like, well, they get the chance to educate themselves, to which, but then they can't, me playing, not playing on a higher level of football in my life, you couldn't work. You had to do your duties. You had to do schoolwork. You had to do other stuff. So you had to do schoolwork. You had to practice. You didn't have time to do any work, and that's why the donors and everybody else, they slide people money up under the table, and then like when you go up in somewhere and you get a free meal and stuff, they'll sanction and all this stuff. Like, there's too much red tape. Mm-hmm. And so again, I agree that the players should get paid, but the biggest problem with everything is that the players aren't getting paid right now. And so EA and them know, as many times as people want to make that money, want to make the game come out, that it's maybe at the time when players do start getting paid, maybe that they might want to do that. Who knows? I have no idea how that's going to play out, but I'm just glad that the game is back for me personally, because it meant a lot, especially for like my little cousin, named Daquan Lowe. He played for OSU. When they stopped it, like, he was on his junior year. He was like on his sophomore, junior year playing at OSU. And And then when they stopped it, like, he wanted, like, man, he was excited about his rating. He was excited about all different types of stuff, man. And I hated that for him, because a lot of those players, they loved playing with their teams against other people, things like that. And college football is just, especially like in my state, in Fred State, all in the the Southeast, it's crazy huge out here. Like, it's bananas. West Coast, not so much. Pac-12 doesn't get, they got some decent teams, but they don't get enough love like they do out here in the South. So it's like, bringing it back, man, it would bring so much revenue to college football, and then hopefully maybe that there could be some negotiations for players to get paid. But for me, on my selfish tip, hell, bring that damn game back. I've been waiting for it. I need it in my life. I'm ready to get down. Boomer Sooner, down with Texas, baby. This is what we talk about. Who want this work? Who want it? I can't wait. Let's go.
Wow, yo, and real quick, shout out to Sir X, man, for hitting up that super chat, brother. I did not forget about you. I was just waiting for the perfect time. He says, I got one thing to say. Stadia is dead. Facts. Brother, you are early on that. We are getting into it, Sir X, man. I think you're going to enjoy that conversation as well. Let's go to Dark on this, because I don't even know if he is a college football fan. So, Dark, I got to ask you, are you excited about NCAA college football coming back? And what do you think in terms of, what's going on actually in the NCAA with the players trying to get some money? Shout out to Shizno Elite in the chat. He said they risk getting hurt before going pro. They definitely should get paid somehow. Shout out to you, brother. I actually absolutely agree with you on that.
Well, they do get an insurance for $1 million if they do get hurt. And then on top of that, it's according to what college you go to. But if you with any any university, they take care of their players, man. They do, for the most part. I mean, there are some grimy places that don't take care of their players and make sure that they get the right job and things like that. But for the most part,
it's my time to talk. I don't know.
Sorry, I just wanted to make that down. I mean, yours is gonna be quick anyway. But I'm sorry. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Cold-blooded.
Yeah. All right, this will probably be Dark's quickest time ever. Let's go.
No, it won't. I'm actually a fan of NCAA football.
What?
Yeah, I actually think college football is better than the NFL because
because there's no Rams.
Because as soon as
Man,
no, I love
your
the
damn
Rams.
mouth. You
Dude,
want me to
better
leave
watch
this
your
show?
fucking
You say
mouth,
something
dude.
about my damn Rams, you bastard.
You realize, like, me and Mega have the same taste in teams, except he likes the Padres. I don't know why the fuck he likes the Padres.
Tony Gwynn.
But-
I was a huge Tony Gwynn fan.
Whatever.
Has he been retired though?
He's been retired for a really long time, but I'm a loyal fan, man. I don't believe
okay,
him.
yeah.
Padres, baby.
I
Carlos
think
Jr.
actually in reality, I think they do better in college than they do when they go to the pros, because when they go to the pros, it seems like they just get the money and then they just suck. They're just like, oh, I'm just here just to get the money, just to get the paycheck or whatever. And I've seen, there's a lot of players who have been in college who should have went pro and didn't go pro. So it's and NCAA football, the games, man, those were always, like, back in the day, those were a lot more fun than the Maddens, to be honest.
Different atmosphere too, man. They
a lot different atmosphere. Like, you felt like you were part of the college. Like, when you played those games, it was actually really cool how they did it back in the day. And hopefully, when they come out with this one, it's on par or even better, than what they did back in 2014 and stuff. So, I mean, I'm super excited for it. I think it's time for it to come back. And it's kind of sucks to see that it did go away for a while. But like everything, if it comes back and does well, then they'll keep it around for a while, hopefully. But we'll see. It's EA,
So what do you think about like it coming out now before anything was kind of like finalized in terms of players getting some type of you know, getting some type of payment and stuff like that when it comes to them kind of like risking their career and stuff playing college football before going pro?
I don't really like.
I don't care.
Yeah, I mean I mean it's not that I don't care. I think they should get paid because like they do a lot. I mean they do have to go through a lot of shit. Especially in college. Like you know how if you ever went to college, you know how it is. Like it fucking sucks sometimes. Because you eating ramen and fucking like like you have no time to do anything really. You just work and go to school. That's it. So. It them getting paid to play football maybe might alleviate them from maybe getting hurt so much or well maybe not hurt so much but like alleviate them from what do you call that? Jesus Christ, I lost my train of thought.
Somebody
Sorry.
come in and save this man. Yeah.
It takes away from I don't know, dude. Just move on.
All right, yo, Crispy. We know you are a huge NFL Kansas City Chiefs fan, but what do you think about this news, man? NCAA football is coming back, bro.
Hey, Madden sucks. Let's go to this. Yeah,
well, they're
that's how I
using
feel
the
about that.
same Madden engine as well. So
Oh, so you mean it's just a port from Madden?
Yo, for real.
So you mean to tell me that they're going to do what they've done for a long time and put NCAA teams into Madden? Because that's what they did for a long period of time. So now all of a sudden they're going to make a game out of it? Come on, people. Do not buy it. I mean, I know K-Meg's probably going to sit there and trash me all day about this. But
no, Pred's next, so I already know what's going to happen.
Yeah, well, guess what? No one cares. Get those likenesses in there, and maybe somebody will care. But keep in mind that person might be one and done and out of the door real quick. So, enjoy the game while it's here, because EA is going to flop with this one once again, and it's going to flop harder than Madden did this past year, and that's the way it's going to go. Because trust me, Madden compared to sales the years before really got hurt this time. So hopefully they actually do something and make the game better. That's all I got to say.
Ooh, man, coming in with predictions and everything. And dude, I got to say, when it comes to the likenesses, I'm on Crispy's side when it comes to this. There is something, you lose something. I feel, in a sports game, if you can't use the likenesses and the names of the people who are actually on the team. That is my personal thing. Now, I know, K-Mega said that, there are people out there that are going to build the rosters and all that good stuff. But it's still, to me, there's still something taken away.
Well, I'll give you a prime example. Imagine I play as the Kansas City Chiefs and I can't play as Patrick Mahomes. Come on, bro. Come on.
No, I hear you, man. Like I said, I'm in that boat with you, brother. I feel like there's something.
I mean, after Sunday, you might not want to play as Patrick.
Oh, brother. Oh, that is.
I will let you bask in your glory. That's all I got to say about that.
Oh, this is gonna be interesting.
I'm not really basking because my Rams didn't make it, so
So you're just salty then.
We got Stafford, so we'll see what's going to happen. I mean,
yeah, well, we'll see.
He
I mean, I've seen Stafford play. He's good. He's good, but he
was on the Lions though.
He's old,
He's 33. He's not old. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry. Let Pred talk.
Yeah. Tom Brady's like 40 something.
All right.
43. Yeah.
But nobody could be like Brady, man. Come on.
Whoa.
He's the GOAT.
Yeah, I think Joe Montana says hi. Steve Young says hi. John Elway says hi. Why are you throwing Brady? Yo, anyway, no, we're getting
Brady won a lot of fucking
we're straying.
championships.
Yo,
He won a lot of Super Bowls.
We're going. Yeah, so did Belichick. We're going right to Predator here. Yo, Predator, what is up, bro? What do you think about the news NCAA coming out? And like I said, me and Crispy were talking about it. None of the likenesses or names, but. Are you excited, or does that take away from the game at all, in your opinion? What's the deal, bro?
So I'm happy that they got this figured out because it's something we've been. Bring me another fight night while you're at it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm with Chris. I think they're just going to use the same assets to make this game, and it's like basically strip the names off the backs and use all the mechanics and stuff like that. I mean, when I look back at the last NCAA, as I'm saying this, I'm thinking like the mechanics were a little bit different. The character models were a little bit leaner than what you get, but I don't know what they're gonna do with this one because we haven't seen it yet. But if you remember, I guess maybe over the summer we were doing gameplay. One of my gameplay was of a mod that was made out of Madden, and they put college teams in there, and you would never be able to tell the difference from that game and Madden, other than the logos and the outfits. Like they were the same things. They just basically put new logos on helmets and the uniforms on them. And that was made by a group of people. So I mean, I can see them doing pretty much something pretty similar to that. Going forward, I'm glad they got it. I hope it's different, but I think it's just going to be a fill-in, just a cash grab basically, because everybody's going to buy. Now you got to buy this and Madden, if you're a huge hardcore football fan.
Yeah, now it's $120 a year. So
yeah, I personally prefer the college. I love college more than I love NFL back then as far as video games go. But if I'm going to pay, whatever the price is, for both of the, I buy Madden like every 2 years. I don't buy it every year because I'm not that invested in it anymore like I used to be back in the day. But I just think they're just going to use the same assets, and you're basically playing the same fucking game. I hope they do something different with it. Make it different from Madden, whether it's everything they couldn't do in Madden because people that are so used to it. They're used to the mechanics and the buttons and where things are. They have an opportunity here to change and make this a completely different type of football game, because it's college.
Yeah.
The spread, the different. I mean, the different sets you can use in college you can't use in the NFL that don't work because the speed in the NFL game is a lot faster. So I just hope they don't NFL it. I hope they keep it college. And somebody's gonna make a mod or a roster with everybody's names on it anyway, so you ain't got to worry about that because that's what they did last time, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
They'll make a roster with those names. You can upload that roster, and your school from Oklahoma will have their players. Your school from Texas will have their players. Your school from Notre Dame will have their players, with at least their names on there. Instead of QB1, so and that thing that happens like every time they do this. So it's, again, I'm glad they got it figured out. I'm not really worried about the money aspect of it, where the money goes to the athletes and stuff like that. I don't really give a shit about that. Just bring me the game. I want there to be a significant difference between the NFL and the college game.
Yo, shout out to Albert real quick. He said Tony Romo says hi. Tell him we said goodbye. Okay.
Quarterback, man. That's my quarterback.
All right. So, Pred, are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Oh, okay. Well, see, I didn't. I thought you was going to really give it to Crispy, but I guess I have to. I got to.
Oh no.
Work. All right. So our boy, what is it, Matt Patricia? That's his name. You know what I'm saying? Madden NFL 21 was the best-selling title of August, with double percentage dollar sales growth when compared to the release of Madden NFL 20. Madden NFL 21 debuts as the sixth best-selling game year to date. So again, you was wrong. I would
Make the
hope.
top 5.
Oh wait, it got beat by that trash game Cyberpunk. Oh, what you talking about?
Well, Cyberpunk,
Oh.
Cyberpunk dusted everything. I mean,
Yeah,
bro.
I know.
Okay. So I mean,
See, there's
Cyberpunk
my
beat
point.
everything.
There's my point, though. Because how many people said it was trash at Cyberpunk? Okay, so don't come at me like that.
You said that it was down. It's up. It's up 37%.
For 1 month, bro.
No, for the overall, it's up. It's up.
You just said 1 month.
Overall sales. No, that was for just the August part. It's up 37%. And on top of that, the one point I want to make too is that I don't know, Pred, if you played played man on the enhanced version on the Series X. It doesn't have the level of enhancements that NBA 2K does for the enhanced console for their enhancements for the new gen. But it does have their enhancements. It plays a lot different. Can't say a lot different. It plays a lot better. Some of the plays that you normally could get and feed off of people in the last gen, those things are kind of taken out. It's a lot more enhanced. And
This Madden was actually really good this year.
This Madden was good. And if you played the enhanced version, you'll see it's a lot better. No cap. It's for real. It is a lot better. I was amazed because I didn't think that they were going to do it. I thought neither NBA 2K or Madden was going to really give us a true enhancement, but I have to give them kudos. They actually did do some really good enhancements. NBA 2K's was just light years, like insane. Yeah. Like it's a whole different game.
I agree.
Yeah, and so Madden is they're really trying to make Madden back to the pinnacle of what Madden used to be. You can't. I'm not knocking them for that. And one thing about college, like you said, college has played different. I hope that they use that engine. That engine is sweet as fuck. So I think as long as they do the same thing like they did with NCAA 14, where they made it where where they keep because the one thing about college football that's not in Madden is the atmosphere and of course the teams, but it's the atmosphere itself. If they get those sounds right, they get the chants right, the energy, they get the crowds, they get all of that. That was the one thing. The presentation in college was always 10 times better than Madden. Yeah. Always. If they keep that on top of the engine that they have now with the new gen with Madden, it's a wrap. But that game is going to.
I want a college game.
That game is going to murder Madden, and that's what's going to pump Madden.
After Predator said that they're going to use the same assets, I knew this was going to happen. You're like, they're probably going to use the same assets. They can use this game.
Well, you know why I'm going to get it because I'm not buying Madden this year.
Oh,
I'm not going to buy both.
He found a loophole.
Yeah, right. And so that's the thing right there. It's like they know that there's a lot of people out here that miss college, and there were some people that didn't really buy NFL, and they lost a lot of credibility for what they did with during the PlayStation 3 and 360 era. They lost a lot of credibility. They just scammed gamers for spending money like me every year. It was awful. And so it was
shit.
Yeah, like they just stripped it from what was great from the PlayStation 2, what I'm saying, OG Xbox era to like just stripped it completely, just ridiculously. And then they went ahead and then just added little pretty graphics to it. It was awful. But
let me throw something else in real quick too that everybody kind of forgot about. Didn't 2K get rights to make NFL games?
Yes.
Recently?
But they don't have the license to do
arcade.
Yeah, arcade. Yeah, they can't do. Or I think that they can do like something like they did with All Pro. 2K. I don't know if you guys played that, but they had a football game where they had all of
like the Hall
the
of
legends.
Famers.
Yeah. They had the legends like Jerry Rice and Elway and all that. If they made
Barry Sanders,
that
baby,
that would be hot because I would love to see. To play with Edrin James and Marshall Faulk and all them guys, that would be a crazy game. So
you said Edrin James. I thought you said legends, man. What are you doing here, yo?
Edrin James was a beast. What are you talking about?
I'd rather play with Barry Sanders as my running back than Edrin James.
Tomlinson.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, see, he brought up Priest Holmes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
wow.
I can bring up
Priest
Edric
Holmes
James.
has like a mad NFL
He had me at
record
Tomlinson,
still.
bro. He had me at Tomlinson. Yo, shout out to my brother Cerebral Paul hitting up that
Man.
super chat. He said, "Yo, you capping on Romo? I'm gonna trounce you next round of golf."
man.
I think he was talking to Predator on that one, yo.
I wasn't capping for Romo, but that's my quarterback.
That's my quarterback. That's my quarterback, man.
Romo was a good quarterback.
One more year with Romo. That's the way Pred feels, you know.
That's right. We just need one more
Hey,
year.
get him, Mizzle. Get him. Hey, people don't know about the great Edric. That's why they got rid of Marshall Falk, which was stupid. But I mean, Edric James was basically like
Edrin James was nasty,
like a baby
man. Don't
Marshall
get me wrong.
Falk. He was sick. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but if I can play like with Walter Payton as my running back or Barry Sanders, even Thurman Thomas as
Bill
my running
Sayers.
back.
OSU, boy, you talking
Thurman
about the
Thomas.
Oklahoma boys. OSU, Thurman Thomas and Barry Sanders. I'm talking about the Oklahoma boys.
Yo,
Look at
dude,
that.
man, they grew him well. They grew him well over there, bro.
Talk
They grew him
about him.
well,
Talk
man.
about him.
But but yo, let's move on. Let's get into the acquisitions department because Embracer Group, and for people who don't know, Embracer Group, they have like 50 different studios. You know, they got let's see, THQ Nordic under their belt, or they were THQ Nordic, but they got Saber Interactive, Koch Media, Deep Silver, Coffee Stain, and a bunch of other studios, has recently acquired Gearbox for $1.3 billion. Oh my goodness, that is a lot of money right there. For people who don't know, Gearbox, I gotta say they're probably most famous for Borderlands. When it comes down to it, yo, Pred, you are the businessman here, so I gotta ask you, what do you think about this acquisition? Do you think it was reasonable for Embracer here? Like they have a bunch of studios already, but to grab Gearbox, basically, I would say they're grabbing Borderlands for $1.3 billion, and let me know if there are other games that Gearbox makes that, you know, people really get into. But Pred, what is your business and gaming thoughts when it comes to this acquisition, brother?
When I first saw that, I was like, well, that kills that noise about Microsoft acquiring Gearbox, you know, right off the bat. So that's a lot of money for just. I can't think of everything Gearbox makes other than Borderlands, to be honest with you.
I'm gonna look it up while you're talking. All right.
I don't know.
I'll tell you, Brothers
Duke?
in Arms and Duke Nukem.
Battleborn, Duke Nukem Forever,
Battleborn is dead.
Homeworld, Aliens,
Yeah.
Colonial, whatever the hell it's
I don't-
called.
Aliens, Colonial
Colonial
Marines. There you
Marines,
go, bro.
I don't know if that was
I thought that was Sega, wasn't it?
I thought Sega
Yeah,
did
it was
Colonial
Sega,
Marines.
but it was
Gearbox made it.
published it.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's really for Borderlands, and the thing is, they just came out with a Borderlands. So, like, what are they working on? Like, I always say with these acquisitions, it's not what they got; it's what they got brewing. So, what are they working on that entice this other company, you know, to pick them up? You know, that's the question I have. So,
Samba de Amigo.
who?
That's another game by them.
I don't know what the fuck that is. I was like, what? So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if this was worth that money, to be honest with you, because I mean, even though a lot of people like that fucking game Gearbox just came up with, this it slipped my mind automatically just now, but I don't know if it sold well, to be honest with you. And I don't know if I think they might have overpaid for them, to be honest with you.
I think so too, bro.
Borderlands is, you know, it's a decent game. It has a nice following, but they just released that last year, I think.
Mhm.
So what are they going to put out between now and, you know, the next game that's going to recoup that money, you know? And I just don't see it happening. I mean, unless they throw something together real quick. Like I said, they got to have something there brewing already that enticed that company to buy them that no one knows about. But I did look at Gearbox's website to see if they were hiring before that, to see if they had something they're working on. But because Borderlands is pretty much dead. You know, I think they might have had some DLC recently. but I don't really know anybody that's playing Borderlands right now out of my circle of friends.
Well, I was gonna say it does have a large community
Cult
of people
following, yeah.
who will play it constantly. But I do got to agree with you. They just came out with one, so we're looking at like what, 4 years, maybe 3-4
Yeah.
years until the next one. You know?
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see the money. I don't see that. I don't see that they're recouping that money back, that fast. Until, like I said, they got to have something else brewing in the pipe to make it, make it worthwhile that we don't know about. That's the only thing I can think of. But money wise, that was a lot of money for them for what the Gearbox has been putting out lately, the last 3-4 years. You bought them for, and it's like at this point you're going to see these companies get bought up because they're afraid that the big boys are going to buy them. So these smaller companies, like, we need to expand. They're going to buy up what they can, just prevent, like, Microsoft or at the one point Google or Amazon or Sony from picking them up because they don't want to lose them. So
Christopher Hart wants your PlayStation Network ID, sir.
Hold on. It's my name, dude. I mean, it's on my
just
fucking
follow
it's
him on
my-
OnlyFans.
Yeah, right.
You're already a subscriber there, so
It's my name, dude. It's I've never hidden from my PSN ID. It's right there on my Instagram. I'm not Instagram, on my Twitter. It's right there. So, like, I don't hide. I don't play. I'm not in everybody's fucking chat champion games I don't fucking play. Like, you don't even have a fucking PS5 according to your fucking PSN ID. So don't even start with me. There's a difference. There's a difference for me sitting here championing about games and stuff like that I'm playing. Like, the games I bought on PlayStation, I played. I beat my games. I don't have an 8% attach rate to Ghost of Tsushima. I'm not sitting here.
No, is that what he got, an 8%?
I'm not sitting here champion Destruction All Stars on PS5 when I don't even have a PS5 because it's not even showing up. It's not even showing up on your PSN ID.
Oh no!
It's not even showing up. I've seen zero PS5 games on your PSN ID.
You set your own self up, Chris. Come on, man.
You gonna do him like that, bro?
Damn.
What did I start here, guys? What?
Whoa.
So you going back to that OnlyFans? You tip daddy.
Chris, you know we love you, brother. We know we love you. Yo,
Fred, you know I'll be on your OnlyFans later.
Yeah,
Tipping
he
you.
will be.
We love you, bro, and I hope I hope you have been upfront on everything that you have been saying. Because
Did you
people
say
do
8% on Ghost of Tsushima?
people do check the papers, man.
He's not even
check
denying
those
this shit
receipts,
though.
bro.
He's sitting there telling me I got a PlayStation. I'm done with that dude.
Yeah.
Clown.
Well, moving on real quick then. Unless you have more to say about this acquisition, Fred.
Nope, I'm good. I'm good.
All right, let's go to Crispy on this. Crispy, we got Embracer, and you heard some of the studios that they have. They now have Gearbox, which we kind of like politely say Borderlands for this 1.3 billion. What do you think about this acquisition? Do you think are you in Predator's boat here that Embracer might have paid too much for this studio?
Yeah. I don't understand why they would do that. I mean, that's a lot of money. The IPs that are involved, they have to. There has to be something in the wheelhouse for them to really spend that much money on one studio that's been doing one thing for a long period of time, and that's Borderlands. So you have to go and look at their past games. Like, maybe they have some hidden IPs that we don't know about, or they have this game that they're working on that's supposed to be like the most extraordinary game ever. Like, I don't know. It's just a little strange at this point to spend that much money, because Borderlands, I mean, there are people that love Borderlands. I played very little of Borderlands because I felt like it was a watered down, just shoot 'em up with freaking, oh, you get this thing. It's like taking Destiny and bringing it to super cartoony graphics, and then adding hit points and all this other crap, and then, oh, you get a weapon here. But on top of that, you never really play with anybody else but the 3 people. You can't have a clan or a squad go with you. You have to be very selective on who you play with. So maybe they're trying to expand on Borderlands. Other than that, I feel like they got to be going to one of their older IPs for something like this. Or they have thought of something brilliant, which, I mean, I say that kind of like facetious and being like, but at the same time, we look at like, initiative and we're like, oh, what are they going to do with Perfect Dark? So, I mean, it's possible that, at some point you're going to be like, oh, they're going to come out with a brand spanking new IP. I just don't, I don't feel that that's going to happen. I feel like they bought them for what they have already. And maybe they have something, down the pipeline that might be like a little, oh yeah, that might actually be a good game. But until then, I don't see over $1 billion. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I'm definitely in that same boat. And granted, Borderlands, like I said before, it has a fairly large community, but like Predator said, they just came out with one not too long ago. So, like, what is this acquisition for? Shout out to Sir X-Man hitting up that super chat 2 more times. So I have 2 super chats to read for you guys from Sir X-Man. Thank you, brother, for the support. He says, "Drink your coffee, Xbot. I'm playing golf after work." Well, brother, I got work coming up tomorrow as well, so I'm going to bed pretty early. So I don't know. And he said, Samba de Amigo was a Dreamcast game. It had bongos also. Yeah, brother, I remember that. I remember that game. I don't know how many people on the panel remember that game, but you got to remember, Dreamcast was my absolute favorite console of all time. So, yeah, I got a lot of love for Dreamcast, and even the mid-tier games that came out on that system. But I don't know. Let's get Predator. Not Predator. Let's get Dark Optimus in on this one. Dark, what do you think about this acquisition? What do you think about Embracer? And do you think they overpaid to get basically Borderlands, man?
It's kind of like it's kind of like Destruction All Star.
Wow,
No.
you can't get that off your mind tonight, man.
He's going all the way back to the beginning.
He's
That's
like,
what he's doing.
hot garbage. Yeah.
No, nah. I mean, they could have spent money on a better studio. Sorry, but Borderlands is not a good game. I know a lot of people love that game, but
Mooch is writing you a mean letter right now because you're saying that, right?
well, that's fine. I'm okay with it. It's just I don't know, man. Like that studio has been going downhill for a while now, and people are just like praising it for Borderlands, and I understand. I get why people like Borderlands. I do. It's just like I don't like it. Like I don't get why people really like it. I mean, it's just I don't know, man. Like I don't know why they would even want to acquire this studio. They don't make anything other than that. Like I don't know if they want to go back and maybe make Duke Nukem, but look at the last Duke Nukem. That fucking game sucked. Like they spent so much time putting development into that game, and it just fucking blew chunks all over, that franchise. And that's and it's like I don't understand why they even attempted to even try to buy this studio. It doesn't I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't get why some of these companies are buying some of these studios, and I'm just like, why? I mean, honestly, like some of the games that come out of some of these companies are just not very good at all, and maybe they're doing it just to make them better, maybe that's why, but I doubt it. Like I don't see this being an acquisition that's gonna really benefit anybody except for the people who are fans of Borderlands. That's it. I don't see it being anything more than that, to be honest.
All right, I got you, brother. Yo, shout out to ACS and before ACS, Albert as well. Guys, why do you care about Sony's financials so much? Because, information came out like over a week ago about Xbox and their kind of like revenue and stuff. And the only reason why we brought it up at all was because it tied into the whole Game Pass topic that we were talking about. But other than that, unless you're a shareholder in Sony or PlayStation or Microsoft and Xbox, like, I don't know why you would care about that. Both these companies are making enough money to keep developing games. And I think that's what we as gamers should be happy about. But, going in and talking about their financials really gets into the whole kind of console war bit. My plastic's better than yours. My plastic makes more money than yours, and all that good stuff. And I'm like, why would you care about that? Like, you're a gamer at the end of the day.
Why don't you care about games instead of plastic? Like,
these companies aren't giving you any of that money. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know why you would care how much they're making, as long as they're making enough to keep supporting your hobby and your lifestyle. I think that's really where it's at. But it's just my opinion. I could be wrong. But K Mega. All right, we got Embracer here. We got them buying basically Borderlands. We'll say Gearbox. We'll keep it as the articles are stating. What do you think about this acquisition, man? Was it too much money? Was it a good purchase? What are your thoughts, bro?
I used to be on Crispy's and Otter's thought process about Borderlands because I bought the first one and never really gave it opportunity. I was like, what is this? No, I ain't playing this. Yeah, I'm wasting my money. I'm trading this in. And then my friend that passed away, Freddie B, man, he played Borderlands 2, and he just kept praising, talking about it. And I tried to play Borderlands 2, and I was just playing so much other stuff. I just didn't even give it the opportunity at the time. Then when I actually did try to play Borderlands, was the prequel, and I damn sure didn't like that. I thought it was awful. I didn't think it was awful in the sense it just was boring. The story just didn't gravitate to me. So I was, like I said, I felt just like them. And then I got talked into getting Borderlands 3. It was one of the last things that my because me and my homeboy that passed away, we game shared, and so he said, man, I really want that Borderlands 3, but I can't. And at that time he was sick. And so I knew that so basically just me being a friend, I knew he wanted what is it? Shrinko? I can't think of that game. I don't know why I keep the game that's kind of like Dark Souls from really popular, one game of the year last year.
Sekiro.
Not the year before. Sekiro, yeah. He really was amped up about that. So I got that, and I bought Borderlands 3 for him. Didn't care about either one of them really. And so it was kind of like, I was like, once you get out the hospital, man, you whatever. So he didn't do it. So I said, I'm just give it a shot. I played Borderlands 3 and lost my mind. I couldn't stop playing it. Everything about it. And so it made me go back and play too. I said, oh my God, this is great. I went back and I played 1, and I stopped because I was starting to play some other stuff. I love that series. It's like the daddy of them all. It's the beginning of the looter shooter. You talk about Destiny. If it wasn't for Borderlands,
Destiny,
there wouldn't be a Destiny. There wouldn't be so many of these games that we see now, or that's because it comes from that type of genre. They like pretty much invented it in a way, unless there's a PC game or something I don't know about, but. I had so much more respect for that game after I played 3, and then I was like, whoa, yeah, okay, I get it. I really do get it. It's charming. It's got crazy characters. It's wild. It's what I'm saying, the loot thing. It's what kind of good did I get now? And I understood exactly everything that what my boy Freddie B used to say about 2. So with that being said, I'm a fan of it. And then also I played that Borderlands Telltale's game, and that's what actually got me more involved into the storyline. So listen, the one thing right here, Borderlands, you can say about what you like it or don't. But this is what I'm looking at right here. Borderlands in its first week sold 5 million copies. Borderlands franchise has now generated over $1 billion in sales, which is the only second to I guess the only other 2K franchise, which is Grand Theft Auto. It's second to Grand Theft Auto, I believe. So that tells you right there. That game is monstrous. I have no idea how many are sold overall, but 5 million in 1 week, that's bananas. Even also, they had a whole bunch of controversy before the game came out, I thought. So, and they still sold that many.
They did. The head of the studio likes to get into some weird things, bro.
Yeah. So, think ain't waking. but other than that, but the thing of it is that game is huge. And let's not forget that Gearbox was going to take over Halo. They've worked on some Halo games before, I believe. So they got the chops, they got the skills. And when you read the article about it, they said that this opens for them moving to this company. They now have the money, the capital to go and broaden their horizons. So I think that they're kind of like everybody else on the panel is like, you know what, we want to be known for more than just 2 or 3 games. We've worked on a whole bunch of different games, but we haven't been really solidified as we've only been solidified for just really one particular game. So let's broaden the gap. Let's go ahead and get with somebody to where they can help us with funding, and that way we don't have to worry about that, and we'll work on a new IP. So obviously it's one of those things where maybe this company sees that they're kind of what their ideas are and what they got coming up. And I think it might be a really huge thing. And the way that they make games, they do a good job with it. And then, of course, people are going to be anticipating the next Borderlands. So I think it was a really good thing. Yeah, I didn't think it would be billion, but if you just look at the success of Borderlands, I mean, that actually just makes sense now, in my opinion.
Okay, all right, I got you, brother. Yo, shout out to Sir X-Man hitting that super chat one more time. Thank you, brother. He said, Borderlands comes to life when you play co-op, K-Mega. I think he's trying
I played solo. I played 3 solo and had a great time. And then
I think he's saying
after I beat the game, I played co-op
with him is what's going on. Yeah,
I did a couple of times. It was me, him, and Pocahontas. We was playing a little bit because we was helping her out, and it's a really fun game. I was, like I said, I was like the rest of the guys on the panel, like
I gave it a try with Mooch a few times, and it's funny because I really like Destiny. It's really not my bag, man. To me, the pacing is slow in between the action, little draggy in between, where when it comes to Destiny, like I get into something and I'm in the shit.
Destiny don't have really a story to really follow, though.
What?
So I mean, it doesn't.
The seasons are all about the stories that's going on. Bro.
I'm trying to play it. It just don't make. Sometimes like what? Yeah, but but you're right. It gives a story. Like, I mean, it gives it time to give it the pacing to where it wants you to understand what's going on within this game. Destiny doesn't do that. It kind of gives you the option. If you care about our story, fine. If you don't have to worry about it. That's basically how I look at it when I think of Destiny.
Well, with Destiny, I care about the story, which is why, like, every season that comes out, it's just it's another pivotal point in what's going on with the story and all that good stuff. So I follow that personally.
Right. I know. I understand it. I get it.
But all right. Yo, Crispy, did you chime in? I don't think you chimed in on Gearbox, right?
Yes, I did.
You did?
Yes.
I value your opinion as always, brother. I just want to let you know that. I do. Yeah. But sometimes it can get a little complicated moderating. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes
are you trying to say you don't value the rest of our opinions?
Oh my goodness! Let's move on to the main event, people. Let's move on to the main event, and guys, get your popcorn ready. I hope you are sitting down comfortable in your chairs because Google has announced this past week, which, by the way, blew up all over the place. Google announced that Stadia when it comes to Stadia, they are closing down their first-party studios for that subscription service. Now, what that means for people is that there will be no first-party exclusive content when it comes to Stadia. Now, a lot of people were saying "I told you so." They say that Google has a habit of throwing money into side projects, getting kind of like the results are mediocre at first, and Google has a tendency to shut down camp, to close camp, and say, well, we tried, and that's that, and kind of like move on. And people are saying that that's what's going to happen when it comes to Stadia. This is the first sign that Google is getting bored when it comes to the Stadia subscription service. And I do have to say, there are a lot of people out there trying to say that this isn't the end of Stadia, because in their announcement, they talked about getting ready for the future of Stadia. To me, a lot of PR talk and stuff like that. But you know what? Since I value his opinion so much over Dark Optimus, we're going to go to Crispy first on this. Now, Crispy.
I knew it.
Oh, my God. Here we go.
It's because he's fully white, isn't it? That's why.
Oh, bro.
Wow.
Don't play that race card, man. I'm part Native American, bro.
I mean, it is Black History Month. I mean,
yeah, I'm part Native American. Okay, no, you can't do that to me, man. That's illegal.
I'm 100% Amish.
Yeah, he is. You can tell in his voice.
Oh yeah, you hear him tap dancing when he walks around his house.
Yeah. That's why for the last couple episodes he was so quiet. He had to actually learn how to use a microphone. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, where are we going? Where are we going right now? No,
no, it's your show. You keep going, man.
I mean, this is your show. Like, what's going on, man?
I know, man.
Guys, you notice how they throw it back at me? This is my show now. Like, but when I try to moderate on a weekly basis, like I get tossed to the side. But
when
anyway,
you mess up, it's all you, buddy.
It's all me.
Right.
Okay, I see what's going on here, man. But, yo, Crispy, you gotta let me know. Is this the beginning of the end of Stadia, man? What are your thoughts on their announcement here? No more first party. They're not doing that anymore. They're moving on. Strictly third party. Can they make a platform strictly third party, no exclusives, bro?
Oh, Stadia. Oh, Stadia. How you screwed up to begin with. Oh, Stadia. Yes, that's right. You screwed up to begin with. You didn't release it in beta. You told people that you were going to do things that you did not do. Sounds like Xbox in 2013, I'm just saying.
Oh, wow.
On top of that, you do not have hardware to support your platform. On top of that, you didn't have IPs like Gears of War and Halo to continually support the platform, because people love those games regardless of what you did. And that is the whole point of this statement. They are trying to go into the same realm as xCloud. xCloud has a platform to do it off of. They have the server base to do it off of. And you know what? Google could have the server base, but guess what? They don't have the games to go about it. So why even bother? They wasted a bunch of money. That's what they did. And now they're doubling back and saying, we're not ready. Well, guess what? You should have said that when you first launched the damn thing. And stop putting people and spending their money and saying, oh, this is going to be great. This is going to be the greatest thing in the world. Well, guess what? It's not. I'm sorry. Do you want to go play Apple Arcade? That's what you got exclusive-wise. There you go. Have fun with it. At least Apple's not sitting there like, oh, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. You got to be here. Well, guess what? You have YouTube. You try to use that. You didn't even integrate it correctly with Stadia. What are you doing, Google? You're just like, hey, let's spend some money today. No, bullshit. It should get just nobody should buy this. Nobody should even use this freaking service at this point. Get it the hell out of here. Have a good day. Goodbye, Stadia. See you later.
Damn, bro. Damn. Did you go in hard enough, man? Or do you want to slam that hammer anymore? Or am I just moving on the panel, bro? Damn, that was rough.
All I got to say is there's a lot of people that I used to respect that said Stadia is the greatest thing in the world. And I said, no, it's not.
Are you talking to K Mega right now? Because I'm looking in the chat. I'm seeing Callie's calling him out a little.
Well, no. K Mega didn't go as far as some people. I'll tell you that. Okay, he said it's a good plan. The games run well. The problem is that you sold people lies. Okay, which we've seen this before. All right, but you not only sold people lies, but you had no actual games that were exclusive to your console. I said console. Think about that. They don't even have a console. It's all in the cloud. So you have no console, and you're gonna sit there and act like the games you have are really exclusive. Oh, Valhalla, you can play here on the cloud. Well, guess what? You can go and purchase it on your console. And where they released it, that's the problem. That's the biggest problem. Nobody cares in America about cloud service right now. They really don't. Few and far between use it, and if they use it, it's on a secondary market. They're on a plane. They're doing something, that's they have to move and do stuff like that. That's where they're using it, and that's where they messed up. They expect you to go and boot it up on your PC or something or on your laptop. People aren't dragging around a freaking laptop, bro. I'm sorry. It's not happening. So I don't know what they thought it was going to be good. The games play, but that's about it. That's all you got.
Well, Crispy, for some of the people, and shout out to the YouTubers out there that have jumped all over this. It is the biggest news of the week, and of course we are covering it here as well. But Crispy, I'm gonna pose a scenario for you from one of these YouTubers, and I want to know what you think about it, because you're talking about the exclusives, right? This person was standing there saying, "Well, man, can there be a platform or a service that can only live off third party?" It's like, only if there was something like that. And as he was saying that, they faded in a picture of the Steam logo on the computer, and he was being sarcastic about it, saying, "Hey, one of the biggest kind of like gaming services out there." Now, granted, it's not a subscription service, I don't think, but one of the biggest kind of like platforms that people play games on is Steam, and Steam does not have exclusive games on that platform. What do you think about him trying to relate Stadia to Steam, bro?
It's not the same thing. It's not
at all.
Stadia is a cloud-based service. Okay, you are, no matter how powerful your PC is, you are not technically downloading the game. You are playing it off the cloud. Okay, Google's cloud is pretty good. Amazon's cloud is pretty good. Microsoft's cloud is pretty good. The way you make it great is that Xbox already says, okay, Microsoft, we have the cloud, but you can still go and say, hey, I subscribe to Game Pass. I can download a game to my One X or my Series S or my Series X. Oh, and you can go and play it on your phone. You can go and play it on your tablet. You can go play anything. That's the only reason why that Microsoft's playing ball with Apple right now, because Apple products are huge. So they're trying to make it work with them. But now they're just like, okay, we're gonna forego everything and go to the browser, and then you can't touch us with that. And that's what they're doing right now. I mean, the problem is that Google's been doing that. They were actually ahead of the curve for Microsoft as far as being on Apple products. At the same time, nobody cared. Nobody cared enough. And now they're like, oh, they just established this first party realm that they have, and they just got rid of it like this. This is called being reactionary. Not looking at, what should have happened. They promise things to people that you shouldn't have done. I don't see Amazon promising the things that Google did, but also Amazon got to watch what Google did and said, "Oh hell no." That's not what we're doing. So, it's learn by the other person's fault or don't learn and do the same damn stupid thing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Just like if Microsoft screws up and does the same damn thing over again, then we go and say, well, I'm done. I've had enough. So that's what most people that were subscribed to Stadia or had it said, I don't want this. Like, this is too much. Like, I expected all these things you promised me, and you didn't deliver. And you didn't deliver within months or years at this point. You know what I mean? You haven't delivered what you promised. And I don't know why. I mean, Google is a huge company. What is going on with that? But maybe they just gave up. I think that's what they did.
Me personally, I don't think it's too far-fetched to be like, this is the beginning of the end for Stadia just because of Google's track record when it comes to starting up something, not getting the response that they wanted, and they go ahead and scrap it. Now, they haven't completely scrapped Stadia yet, but they haven't shown anybody that they have changed from that kind of way of thinking either.
Yeah, but they haven't completely scrapped Stadia because there's still subscribers to it. So they're still trying to,
but there's not a lot. There's like 4 people and a cousin. Like,
Well, you went there, but I'm saying there's probably 100,000, something like that. They're trying not to just, do what Xbox did the other day and say, hey, let's double the price. Oh, that sounds cool. You know what I mean? Let's just get rid of what you've been playing because those 100,000 people are playing it. You know what I mean? Let's not do that because we don't need 100,000 people going like, what the hell, dude? You took my money and I'm trying to play this, or, I have all these games on here. You know what I mean? So, they're doing the right thing technically, but at the same time, they're just, they're patting themselves on the back saying, oh, we're doing the right thing, but we know at the end it's going away. That's kind of, it's kind of wholehearted to half-hearted type bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, that I would definitely think that way again because they haven't shown that they've changed their way of thinking when it comes to like newer projects and kind of like sticking through with it. This is definitely a sign of something like that coming. And, again, shout out to the YouTubers out there that are trying to put a more like positive spin on it. But you guys, you're talking about Google right now. And I just don't see the light at the end of this tunnel. I just see it getting darker and darker. But I do want to get K Mega in on this. Now, K Mega, you have tried to play the diplomat when it has come to this service. You have tried to tell people, chill out. Wait, you know what I'm saying? Google will put in on this. They'll make it worthwhile. What do you think about them closing down their first-party studios before they have even come out with a single game? I believe they spent $500 million in a year on their first party. Do you think this is the first sign of the end of Stadia?
Yeah, I mean, I do. They'll reinvent it to something else. Maybe actually do what they were supposed to do by implementing some Stadia stuff to YouTube, something like that. But it's definitely the writing on the wall for them to start pulling out. And that was the thing. Like, I mean, I thought I was going to be first or last, to where I got to take the L. I when the time said I'm wrong, I will admit that I was wrong, because I totally thought I wasn't a stand for Stadia, but I was in support of Stadia. I thought that Stadia was one of those things that was going to stay around because they seen the benefit of what the market could bring, the potential. It's just that to me, it's just kind of like, but everybody told me about the track record. I'm kind of like, no, I mean, this is a little bit different. I mean, they could, and say this is why Microsoft and them is making this push. And now when Amazon comes in here now, when they're doing their thing with, now with Luna, I'm like, this is one of these things, man. It's going to be
I'm hearing
serious.
Facebook is getting into the race more
Right,
in the
right.
next couple years as well.
Yeah, and so like that's just the thing. Like that was gonna say. Like, I mean, if all they got to do is just stay in the game for 2 to 5 years, and watch how this market just grow. It's just because of the fact that people on the right now. We were saying this about. That was one of my arguments. Was we were saying the same thing about not having discs. Games going digital. People were over here talking about the Switch was already dead when the Switch first came out because the sales wasn't all that great at first, I believe, and because it still had the stench of the Wii U, and then all of a sudden it just catapulted, and then I think following going into their first year, I think they had that Zelda game drop, and then that was it, and then there has been no looking back. While other people was just talking, so I was kind of looking at it like, nah. Stadia is gonna be cool. Stadia's gonna. I believe in the Stadia. I believe what they're gonna do on that. But I was wrong, and it's baffling to me. I mean, they got the money to play with anything and do anything that they really want to. But it's just the baffling part is that they gave up so early. But I think what they know that they did is what Crispy was talking about, is that they came with so many promises that they couldn't fulfill within. They talked about they were doing that within the first year. It's been what, 2.5 years, and they still haven't even came close to fulfill any other things that they were talking about at when they first introduced themselves. So that was one of the things where it just didn't make any sense. So now they got these studios, and they closed them down, and you feel bad for the developers and all of that stuff. But it just comes to show, man, like if you got somebody that's committed and you think they're committed, they talk a good game, they could sell you out just as quick as an employee could sell you out. Like, it's crazy. That just doesn't make any sense to me. But yeah, I think that they'll do some other things with Stadia to maybe try to maintain and hold on to that infrastructure. But other than that, man, I think they see the writing on the wall. Their pay scale, their pay structure was absolutely ass. Whoever was in charge to, oh yeah, I forgot, the guy that was in charge is the guy that was over here that gave up the launch to Xbox Xbox One. So yeah, I can see now. It seems like where this gentleman comes out and do something, that it seems like it gets a scarlet letter. So yeah, no, I'll take the L on it. Stadia is done, in my opinion.
And the crazy thing, and you brought up the developers on here, and again, we're never happy when people lose their jobs. I will say there is a silver lining, because with Xbox, acquiring all these studios, getting all these projects underway, having them in development and stuff, this is definitely a pool of developers where Xbox can kind of come in and try to pick out the best of the best, and send them job offers and whatnot.
This is Xbox with xCloud. See, what people, I think, not realizing right now is that this market is meant. This is a marathon. This isn't a full out sprint.
Mm-hmm.
And Microsoft is structuring themselves to take their time. They have everything in place to just get it out there, and then slowly but surely, a lot of people just start following. And you're right. Devs, a lot of, people that does, like we seen one phone that one game looked insane, looked lifelike, on a cell phone game. And just think about those games being able to be played on the cloud, through your cell phone or whatever. Like they could monopolize this market already, because people are already familiar with Microsoft. They're not familiar with anybody else other than Sony and Nintendo. And Nintendo I don't think Nintendo don't want anything to do with the cloud. And PlayStation is got to figure out what they're going to be doing with their headset. And now they're jumping into anime and movies and things like that. Microsoft could really just tap in and lock in and just have this market all to themselves without really no competition whatsoever. That is really crazy to think about.
Damn, brother. Definitely insightful. Always a pleasure talking, especially these big topics, man. And shout out to you, brother, for putting the truth out there and kind of staking your claim to when you're wrong, because I think this is the first sign, in my opinion. But we got to get the Predator on this, yo. Predator, Mr. Third Party Opinion himself tonight. Predator, yo, Pred, is this a nail in the coffin? Are we talking doom and gloom when it comes to the Stadia subscription service now that they have no more first party studios, bro?
That's the writings on the wall, man, and it's just it's just a matter of time before they just say they pack it up and send it in. But I mentioned this when it came out. I
gave him a timetable, didn't you?
I said a year. It lasted 14 months. It ain't dead. Let's be upfront. They just closed their studios. They still supporting it with third parties supposedly, but I didn't think it was I didn't think it would last more than a year. Just my biggest issues were they're trying to tap into a market where gamers, we have physical things in front of us to play our games. We have a PC, we have Steam, we already have consoles, we have Switches, we have all that stuff. And so you're telling us you want us to stream it on a laptop or a computer or and we already own those devices. So if you want to be a hardcore gamer, you're going to actually want, something to interact with. You don't want to play that way. So I didn't think it would survive. Just that was the main point right there. The launch wasn't good. The launch of the games they had coming out were games we had already played. Had been out for a while. I mean, they tried to get some stuff as they launched, like the day and date stuff too, like Assassin's Creed and stuff. They tried to, they tried to get in good with Ubisoft, and at one point in time, there was talks about the purchasing Ubisoft, and I think that's out of the picture now at this point. If that was even a possibility, I don't think it's even going to happen at all now. So, that's dead. So you can kill that noise now. But they tried. I think they had the right mindset, but I think they tried to come out too soon. They weren't ready for their launch. They weren't ready with games. They weren't ready with anything exclusive for their content. You didn't really hear about it advertising wise, unless you were on looking at something on the computer or something like that. But there are no commercials for it. You go into stores, you don't see it. There's nothing there. And then you tie all that in with the fact that there's other competition out there too. You have two consoles launching. Consoles that people already have already invested in, coming from the PS4 to the PS5 and to the Xbox to the Series X and S. So now you're asking me to jump on this. Most people don't have that kind of, you have room for two, maybe three if you're just super hardcore. But now you're asking me to pick up a streaming device and play the same games I'm gonna probably play on my Xbox already, or I'm gonna play on my PC or my PlayStation 5. It's not gonna work out that way. So they were doomed from the beginning. They should have had something. I suggested a handheld, trying to tap into that market, but just coming out with no console at all. And maybe they want to put the money into research and development for it, but I think that was a misstep for them. So we'll see what happens going forward, but I expect them to kind of just cank that. We'll see what Luna does, and maybe Luna do something different to get us some ideas of what to do with theirs. But I think the Google Stadia is dead.
Yeah, so when it comes down to it, now first off, I can hear somebody hitting their sticks real quick.
No, that's me.
Somebody rocking out on Xbox right now as we're on the show, and of course it would be K Mega. You know the drill. Predator, what do you think about again? There are YouTubers out there trying to put that positive spin on it. What do you think about the whole comparison to Steam, bro? Is that laughable in your opinion, or do you think there's some truth behind that they can sustain just third party when it comes to Stadia as a subscription service?
Well, they're not Steam. Steam has a store. That's what Steam is. This is a store for games. If they decide to tap into that, maybe. But Epic has had some success. but they had to do some things. They had to undercut, some people to get there, and
They
make
had to make
partnerships
their
with other
name
people.
known, man. That's what they
Yeah.
like.
What was the first game that went to Epic that everybody was like, "What the fuck?" I
Oh,
don't know who
So,
it was, but
are you?
it was one of those. Everybody's like, and then I know
It
Sony's
was
kind of like
Borderlands 3.
partnered up with them too. Was it Borderlands?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
Was
Borderlands.
Borderlands
it
3.
was it
Borderlands.
Borderlands?
Yeah.
And so when they did that, like we start looking at how they did it. Like they basically undercut Steam. They gave more money back to the developers, and so they're like, like maybe we should go over here. And so that's what made them popular. So like for
And they're free
Google to
games.
do something. Yeah, and they give you free games too. But for Google to do something like that, they'd have to start working on those partnerships. But they're not a storefront. You know what I mean? Like, look at the backlash from Microsoft. Like their storefront sucks, and so that's why everybody goes to Steam. Like they're so used to that, and everybody kind of trashed Epic at one point in time too. And that, essentially you're buying the same game. It's just a matter where you want to launch it from. But and that's the fickle mind of PC gamers. But the PC guys, they're not going to accept that. I don't think they're going to be all for that just because they haven't done it. It took a force of hand for them to start getting used to the Epic store. You think they're just going to be like, okay, let's just go here too? Like, no, it's not going to happen. So you can't compare the two. Like Steam and Google are what they're doing are two different things. Like Steam's been around doing this stuff for a while. Amazon has nothing right now in that space as far as launching games and stuff like that. Like it could happen. They have the money for it. It's just I know a lot of PC gamers. They're fickle. I'm not going there. It's not on Steam.
no matter what.
Like
Yeah, because they were
they're
saying
just
that about
they're just-
Epic, remember? And then now all of a sudden
Yeah.
that you don't hear none of that talk now. But
Yeah.
remember, Fred, when I was
But they were
talking.
They were forced to, though. That's why they were forced to. That's the only place they could get that game was Epic, so they had.
Yeah, and remember when I said that the smart solution for Amazon and Google, and I was talking primarily about Google, was that they should get into that market as well. Instead of them trying to come out with because we didn't know if it was a console or anything at the time. And I was like, you know what? The best thing for them to do is to start off as having a store and compete against Steam and Epic, and then kind of wait and see what Xbox does and then jump into that realm. But like you said, they just jumped right in ahead, and man,
You
crazy.
know what I think they should have really did if they should have
Mhm.
either A, came up with a handheld, or B, if they wanted to get into gaming, just create studios and put them on everything.
Yeah,
become a third
yeah,
party.
yeah, be a third party. Yeah, that would have been
Get the
smart for them
revenue
too.
going, and then go from there in terms of
Mhm.
your cloud structure and all that good stuff. I think they felt like since they already had their infrastructure for the cloud there, that they can just automatically jump into this. But Pred, you make a point that Steam is basically it's a storefront. All right, Stadia is not a storefront; it's a subscription service. Where with xCloud, if you have an Xbox, you buy the game there. You have a subscription to Game Pass, and you can play your games on your console. And then if you want, stream onto a device when it comes to xCloud. Now, with Stadia not having a first party, they don't have any exclusive games, and they don't have that niche. They don't have that unique thing that makes their service kind of like stand out. It's just, buy a game and you can play it anywhere. But it's not, it's not dedicated. It doesn't have a dedicated home on console or anything like that. And I think that definitely hurts them. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It definitely does. I do want to make
look at Luna. Maybe
Oh, go ahead.
Go. No, I was just saying like maybe Luna will do something different that we haven't seen. But if they
have
if
studios.
Luna follows the same.
They have studios, but
Yeah,
but they still got that same stupid pay model. I played Luna. Luna feels great. I was playing it. Matter of fact, I think I showed a clip of me playing tennis, playing a tennis game. The problem is that it's like a cable service. Lemon was talking about that last night. He, I don't want to try to steal his words or whatever, but that's how I thought about it as well. Was basically, it's just like, for instance, okay, you get basic cable, right? All right, because you already have Amazon Prime or whatever, right? or Luna, which is going to be like, I think it's like $5 to $10. I can't remember the price, but you got that. And then let's say that you want an HBO, right? Well, okay, you want the Ubisoft package, then you're going to have to pay additional money for that, and that's what's going to kill them. You got to have. I said the best structure for them for what Luna could do, what Amazon could do with Luna, is implement that, take a hit, and implement. Well, I don't even think that's really taking a hit, but take a hit and put it in, include it into Amazon Prime, and then, for instance, just add like maybe $5 more or $10 more for, like, let's say, like, because if I pay yearly, okay, so you pay yearly and you just stay, instead of paying $100, you pay $110. You'll generate a lot, because when people they already have access to Amazon Prime. When that payment comes again, most people, they already know that it's coming, or they don't, or they forget, and it still comes through. They're like, oh shit. Well, that way that you can get people, or if you got the people that's doing it monthly, just hit them with the extra $5, and then that's it. You having people to pay for Amazon, and on top of this paying for Luna, and you paying extra for Ubisoft, it ain't going to work. That's going to kill it dead. It doesn't matter how great the games play, that just isn't going to work. And gamers are really fickle as well, because if they don't have if they don't think that the studio or whoever's coming out with anything is going to seem to be a little shaky or stable, if they don't have some kind of name brand behind them, gamers are really weird about that, and they don't mess with you. Like, they have to have a standing. So it's like what Fred was saying, like, if they did something first, then build themselves up, and then get solidified, then people will be a little bit more, would probably want to engage with them more. But just coming in and just slamming it, and then you got these all little hidden fees, that's not going to work with gamers.
Well, I mean, the cost doesn't justify the means. That's kind of, that's what most gamers think about. Does it justify what my purchase is? So some of us, I mean, most of us on this panel, if not all of us, I mean, Fred, sometimes I question you, but we are on Game Pass for a reason, because even though you might not like Falconeer, at least you say I tried it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's the strange thing, because we know, at least us being, Xbox first, we know that eventually they're going to get their shit together, and we're going to see something really great. And we've seen inklings, but we want to see the actual games being played and them actually be great. And that's the whole point. Like, Stadia was just like, hey, here we are, here you go. And that's all they kind of said.
Buy games to play here. That's it. Like that was it.
Buy games, but instead of subscribing to a service, they said, "Oh, you also got to buy the games too on top of that."
Yeah.
Oh, you want the little dongle? Oh, you gotta do all of these extra things. When Xbox is like, "Hey, you subscribe to Game Pass, you can subscribe to Game Pass Ultimate. Guess what? You get xCloud, you get whatever you want." And that's why, most of us were like, yo, why are you trying to double the price on gold, bro? Just get rid of it or something. Do something. Don't sit here and be like, oh, everything's okay. No, it's not okay. No, I'm sorry. For anybody that wants to come into the ecosystem without subscribing to Game Pass, how is that right to them? It's not. Sorry.
Nice. Yo.
Yeah, I got one more point to say, and that is, xCloud is kind of like the new what is that? What was the Kinect for Xbox? They learned so much from the Kinect, from its success to its failure. Now they were patient. They was like, okay, go ahead, Stadia. Let's see what you're gonna do. Let's see how this plays out. Oh, that's how you're gonna play it. All right, they did the same thing with VR. Like, okay, Sony, go ahead, go first. we've already had our experience with this. We've already did this. We went through a success and the fail. Okay, all right. Let's see how you do it with VR. Let's see how Stadia does this. Let's see how Luna does this because Xbox is just slowly talk. I mean, just they're not even really bringing up XCloud like you would think they should because they know that they're not fully ready to present it like they want to yet. But it is clear that they've learned so many lessons from last gen. You could just tell. Like it's just night and day compared to their thought process of how they did things. The only thing is what the step back is what they did about live. And I totally agree with Crispy on that. But other than that, everything else has been pretty much flawless from Microsoft's end on how they've been communicating and how they've been working things out so far.
Yeah, definitely, man. And this is a crazy topic. I think there's a lot of people on the panel that saw this coming. I'm wondering if Dark Optimus was indeed one of them. So Dark, we have Google shutting down first-party studios when it comes to Stadia, their subscription service to play games pretty much wherever you want, whether it's the dongle in back of your TV, whether it's on your laptop computer or whatnot. What do you think, bro? Is this the beginning of the end for Stadia?
I gotta say, na 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 na. Hey.
Goodbye.
Oh, golf clap for Dark. I love it.
Oh man, honestly, man, I never was even remotely thinking about being invested in the streaming. Even when I heard about Google Stadia, even when I heard about XCloud, even when I didn't, I'm gonna be completely honest here. I didn't even know Luna was even out yet.
Wow.
I thought they were.
You didn't
still
know about the
working
purple
on it.
controller? Come on, man.
I did. I knew about the purple controller, but I didn't know that they actually launched, and it's like they were trying to cater to a demographic that doesn't play fucking video games. That's who they were trying to get. They were trying to get people who don't play video games. And guess what? They're not gonna they're not gonna get Google Stadia. They're not gonna do it because half those people are either probably traveling, and they're doing other things besides playing video games. They probably don't even watch movies. They probably don't even watch TV. They're off living their life.
They go outside, people.
They go outside, and that's the thing. Like, I mean, for us gamers, yeah, it would have been a great. It's kind of a cool service because then we could take, if we're just say we're on a plane, we want to experience our like just to say, you play, because I know it was cross play with Destiny 2 or whatever, and you want to take your character and you're like, well, I gotta get this mission done. Well, I got this flight in like a couple hours, so I gotta get on this plane, but I can still play the game while I'm on the plane, and that kind of that kind of thing intrigued me about it, but at the same time I was like, I don't know, man.
Dark,
I don't
how
know
many
how
times are you in that scenario, though? Let's be real.
But I mean that I don't really think that's the point, though. Like when you're on a plane, like for me, I know for myself, like I'm either watching a movie or I'm reading something or something, like I'm doing other things than focusing on playing a video game. You know what I'm saying? So like it's not, I feel like when I'm playing games, I want to be in a quiet environment, and like when you're on a plane, that's not a quiet environment. Like it's very loud, and
Yeah, what kind of planes you gonna ride in?
Dude, I'm telling you, man.
Soul plane.
You don't want to know what kind of planes I fly in, man.
The planes where they have goats and chickens at the back of the plane.
Exactly. How do you think we got here?
Oh, okay,
How do you think we got here? Oh my goodness.
boy.
Yeah.
And I didn't see it being a viable option for gamers, and honestly, I don't think they even factored, and no one factored this in, no one at all, but they didn't factor in a pandemic like this, you know, like no one factored that in, but they didn't factor that in, and it's kind of hurting them in a certain stance, I mean, I look at people who I've talked to who got Stadia, and now they're like, I'm not even in Stadia anymore. But I was like, yeah, but you guys are gamers, and then I would talk to people who don't have nothing to do with video games, and they're like, what's Stadia? What's Luna? They don't know any of that stuff.
What is this?
They don't know any of that stuff. So you're not marketing to people who watch YouTube, who watch TV and things like that, but you're not marketing to people who, I don't even think I think my dad called me the other day and he was all like, hey, what's this Stadia? He didn't even know about it for several months. And then he's just like, he's like, I saw a YouTube video about it. I was just like, really? They still have commercials? Like, what the fuck? Like, I was just like, he's just like, yeah. I was like, it's just a streaming service. He's like, oh, really? And I was like, he's like, you had to pay for that? And I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, okay, never mind.
Not only, well, if you want 4K, not only do you have to pay for the service, but you also have to buy the games as well.
Yeah, and I told him that, and he's just like, yeah, never mind. I'm not, I'll just stick to my PlayStation or my Xbox or whatever.
Does your dad have both?
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Oh shoot! Look at that.
Yeah, he's a gamer.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
And he even turned down Stadia. Look at that.
Yeah, he turned down that stuff. I mean, he likes more like Uncharted, things like that kind of stuff,
So he likes
action.
really bad gunplay, is what you're saying.
So he likes movies instead of games. I got you.
Oh wow. No.
So he's definitely
played
Detroit then.
Boring ass walking simulators and stupid ass bird games and shit like that.
Bird games. Oh, Falconeer.
Walking simulators, huh? Oh, okay. So he's not a Detroit fan. Oh,
No. Then he definitely loves Detroit and Until Dawn. Like those
I
are.
love
those are
Detroit and Until Dawn.
I do too, but yeah, my pops he don't.
Those are games you could play with one hand.
But and I think Stadia is just it's at that point of like it's either gonna be somewhat of a success or it's just gonna go away. It's not gonna be like a full time like. I think Google was thinking this was gonna be like the next big thing, and that's what they wanted to jump on. But people, as we know, as gamers, like the next big thing is usually doesn't come into play until like 5 years, 10 years down the line. So and I mean it's like digital games, like didn't really become prevalent. Like I mean 360 era, it was kind of getting there. Then digital didn't really kind of come in until the Xbox One, PS4 era, and then now it's a little bit more prevalent now, but there's still a lot of people who are buying physical games, so it's kind of like that, and who knows how long it'll take people to even get used to a streaming service,
Well, and just to go off your point, I don't think Google thought that Microsoft, Xbox, whoever you want to call them, would buy ZeniMax. I really, I feel like that's like almost like was the nail in the coffin to them, because, ZeniMax, Bethesda, they've really went towards this online gaming service type thing, and they still like, regardless of what you feel about Fallout 76. The game is still being played, which is incredible. Yeah. It has millions of people playing that game, and they've slowly but surely fixed it. And I've kind of experienced this with Division 1. That game at the end of it was absolutely great. It really was. It was perfection, but it was at the end of it. You know what I mean? I was already invested. I was already getting the gear scores and all that. But they like, that's why Ubisoft is so good, because they literally have learned from their mistakes and they've actually made games in their wheelhouse that are reputable and good and attract people, and they haven't really screwed up what they did. I mean, I almost feel like Division 1 was a turning point in Ubisoft's tenure. They sold millions.
I think it was also Rainbow Six Siege really kind of gave them
Well, that helped too. That helped too. But what I'm saying is that the one thing I'll give respect to Ubisoft is that they went and said they sold the highest number of freaking of games for Division 1 in that whole year, but they still continued to work on it, and I'll give them credit for that, because instead of saying, "Hey, we sold all we wanted to," in like a 5-day period, technically.
Anthem.
Well, Anthem did, but they released the beta, but a lot of people forget that Division 1 had a beta also, and it was really good, but Anthem's beta really sucked. And
no, I was saying Anthem, they gave up on Anthem. Like, they haven't done anything with that game since it launched and it sucked, and they said fuck it. Whereas Ubisoft, they stuck with their games and made them better.
Yeah, it's very true.
No, good point. Yes. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Ubisoft has come into that come to be known as that developer, the publisher that doesn't give up on their games, even if they come out not very good. They tend to go in and say, okay, we need to fix this. We need to make this game have more of a longevity. Like, I mean, look at the Division. I mean, they didn't give up on that franchise. They just made Division 2, and it's a better game. It's a better game for it, So
the only thing, if you took the story from Division 1 and put it in Division 2, I think it would have been like ridiculous. Like, probably like Game of the Year status. Like, I'm not even playing. Like,
yeah, if they put them together, like had Division 1, Division 2 story together, that. I mean, honestly, I agree with you. I think that would have been pretty good. I think them combining the two. I think even Bungie should do that with Destiny. Like, combine Destiny 1's really short, shitty story and put it into 2, but they haven't done it, so I don't know what they're doing over there. I have no idea.
Fun fact, you do get to go back to New York in Division 2. Just so you know.
That is true.
Yes. Yeah,
the Warlords
yeah.
of New York DLC. You do, yes.
Well, all right. I think everybody got their opinions in on this. It was the main topic. We went through the title. We got everything down pat. I think it's about time, guys. I think it's about time to wind down. And like a 40-year-old with a comb over, got to get those plugs in. Yo, first off, I want to say huge shout out to everybody that hung out with us. Yo, Dark, Callie really wants us to do that duet for the end of the show. So, after the intro.
I've already done my duet with you, and that's it.
That's
done.
it?
So,
Not even
you
for
ain't getting another one, Callie. I don't give a shit.
Wow. See, Callie, I was good to go, but I'm getting some force feedback here from Dark himself. So I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen, bro. Yo, huge shout out to the chat, all you guys, for hanging out with us tonight. As always, man, the support and all the love is definitely appreciated. Yo, if you haven't done it yet, hit that thumbs up button. Let people know where you hung out on this Thursday prime time. Of course, you hung out with me and the panel for the next podcast. But let's go with K Mega first. I think I did it last week, but we got some catching up to do. we usually have him go last and all that good stuff, but he's going to go first, I believe, twice in a row. So he's probably not used to that. Not used to that. So, K-Mega, what do you got for us, man? I know GRG is coming up tomorrow, and of course, I see you up bright and early, getting in on games, all that good stuff. Dude, let people know about your streaming and all that K-Mega goodness, bro.
I appreciate it, man. You missed the super chat too, so you want to read that super chat before that?
I'm actually checking right now. Oh.
And I'm glad that Sir X-Man is right there so
true.
you can hear his super chat. Sir X-Man, Samurai Showdown Neo Geo Collection. Not the new Samurai Showdown, but Samurai Showdown Neo Geo Collection is $19.99 right now. It's on sale for $20 for 4 days, and it has all of the old Samurai Showdowns on that collection. So you need to pick that up as well. Stop playing around, bro.
Yo, his super chat real quick. Yo, shout out to Sir X-Man, and he makes a great point when it comes to Stadia on this. He says they hurt themselves by only being on Pixel phones. So it's not even just being on like either Android or Apple. They even narrowed themselves down to just the Google Pixel phones. I think that is a great point. Anybody want to chime in on that? Because I mean,
that's what I kind of said.
I mean, it's to be expected because they own, those phones. So yeah, they can't really do it with Apple because Apple's
Apple.
Let's be honest, they're pieces of shit.
Samsung, which is Xbox's forte. They have a partnership with Samsung. Just saying.
Yeah, and when it comes down to it, Android, they seem pretty reasonable with getting kind of like deals together to get like stuff running on Android. They want to be known as that place that kind of like has everything you could go to for everything. So, with them only having it on the Pixel, that definitely, that is a great point, Sir X-Man. Shout out to you, and of course the other super chat that stated how I missed the previous super chat. Brother, thank you so much for all that support, brother. So K-Mega, what you got for us, bro?
GRG tomorrow night. I'm gonna have Wilmy Hood coming on to the show for the very first time. Man, that should be fun. Shout out to Wilmy for coming on. And man, we're going to be just talking about some crazy topics. I know I'm going to get that work about the whole Stadia thing. That's going to be fun. But you know what? You just got to take it.
Wilmy was a founder as well. He got the founders pack for Stadia as well. So
yeah, I remember him talking about that when I went on his show. Yeah, it was and he talked about it. Or it was one of the times when I was listening to his show and I heard him talking about that. But yeah, no, that's going to be cool. So yeah, that Saturday I might stream something. I was thinking about maybe trying to stream or not stream, but try to practice on a little golf tomorrow night after GRG. It's according to how I feel, but if not, then definitely we'll be streaming something Saturday. Don't know what it'll actually be. Of course, Sunday night is Fight Night.
Legion.
No. I'm after me beating Dragon Age Inquisition, beating all the DLCs, putting around 400 hours into that. I am done with single player games for a while. It's all multiplayer. That multiplayer life is
Sunday night Fight Night during Super Bowl Sunday. What you talking about?
Yeah. The Super Bowl will be done by the time we do Fight Night. We'll
maybe I'll show up. I got Monday off, bro. Let's go.
That'll be great. I think mostly everybody has a new console except for maybe
Monday off.
He does
to cry.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm hoping that the Chiefs win. But anyway, that Fight Night Sunday after the Super Bowl will not be before, during, or before. Hell no. And then after that, man, just back to doing what we played Halo the other night. It was fun. It was me, Don, 108 Dragons. Who else came in there? Yobi, and it was One Bad Mother, man. We had a great time. We ran through them suckers, man. It was great. But yeah, that's it. Just doing my streaming thing and just doing the podcast. So yeah, thank you guys.
Nice, brother. Let's go with Crispy. Crispy, he's got Monday off, so he's probably looking forward to the weekend. Crispy, I know you've been working a lot, which is why we have not seen you out on the golf courses, man. I hope you get back there soon. We miss Olga Bomb. I'm just saying, but you are a part of multiple podcasts. You are ingrained in this community as a gaming podcaster. So for people who don't know, let them know where you're going to be throughout the week, brother.
Well, we could play golf tonight, dude.
I got work tomorrow, bro.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you gotta sync up. You gotta sync up your work schedule with mine, man.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. But that's fine. At Chris Bomb on Twitter, Chris Bomb 28 Xbox Live. Yes, I will play golf, and if you actually want to learn gears, which I mean, nobody on this panel even wants to try, so it's quite funny.
Shit.
Oh damn!
It's coming from somebody that barely plays his Xbox ever. Oh.
Hey, this is for anybody out there. Hold on.
If they bring out games, that would be great.
This is a big thing, guys. It's a big thing right here. Anybody right now who does not have an Xbox, a new console, go to Xbox right now, and the one that's available right now is the Xbox Series S. It's available in stock right now on your Xbox. All through the Microsoft Store. Go and try to get that as quickly as possible because I just tapped it and I went in and added it to the store. It shows that it's available. The Series X
I don't want a Series S. No.
Okay, I'm just letting you know. Just letting people know. So anyway, that's it.
Yeah. So I'll spend all the monies. Yes. And I will be on Breakfast of a Boom tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. And you can find me on Retro Renegades Tuesday night, 7 p.m. And of course, I'll be back here on the next podcast Thursday, 8 p.m. But 8 p.m.
Hey,
okay.
Old habits are hard to break, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I'll leave that to you. You're working hard, bro. I'm
working hard. Yeah. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it, bro. Yo. Dark Optimus, bro. What do you got for your outro, man?
I got you guys can find me on Twitter, Dark Optimus. You can also find me on Xbox Live and PlayStation, the same name. Mostly on PlayStation because I don't play on a console that doesn't have any games. Just
Dude, you can download Falconeer on your Game Pass right now. Go ahead.
Yeah, not playing that fucking game, dude.
Man, that Demon Souls, that shit's brand spanking new, bro. Like, oh yeah.
It feels like a brand new game, I'll tell you that.
Oh, good for you, buddy.
New twists and turns in the story, all that good stuff.
No, I mean it just looks more
different final
modern.
boss, different bosses all around.
No.
So it's the same game. All right, got you.
So it doesn't matter as long as it's fun to play. There's nothing fun to play on Xbox right now.
Well, shit. I mean, I could go and play Gears.
I don't know.
Gears
Watch Dogs
1,
Legion
2,
is fire.
3, 4, 5.
Yeah, but I can get that on my PS5.
Okay, but it's still also on Xbox and it's still fun to play. So there are games on Xbox that are fun to play. See? You shut up, man. Yeah. You know I love you, bro. You know I love you.
Yep.
Yo, Predator, man, what do you got for us? Are you making any guest appearances? I saw you shared the Shop podcast. I didn't see if you joined in this past week or not. But what do you got for us, bro?
No, I was just listening to them this week. I haven't really been listening to a lot of podcasts lately. It's because there's a bunch of stupid bullshit going on in most of them. But like other than obviously this one, K-Maker's show, and every now and then I'll pop in on We Bleed Green. I have to pop in on the Shop this weekend too. So, but I haven't been on any shows, man. I haven't really even put myself out there. It's been kind of laying low. But yeah, I probably need to get back out there and start putting myself out everywhere again like I was last year. But I mean,
if you're free, you can come on the GRG tomorrow.
Yeah, no. I mean, I know I got that open invitation. So if I'm up, I go to bed early. So I get up at like 2:00 in the morning. So if I'm up and I'm awake and active, I'll always hop on and at least say something. I was in y'all's chat the other night, pretty much for the whole show. But Nothing in the works right now. Just gonna get some gaming in this weekend. Catch up on some stuff I haven't been playing.
Watch Dogs
Go out to the
Legion.
range. I gotta get into.
Dude,
some
I am
Division.
co-signing on that game. I am so sorry. Like I don't know. Like, yo, I don't understand why more people aren't talking about that game and putting it out there. Yeah. I don't know.
Okay. You're just saying that because now you're just not getting into it, but we've already been through that phase.
Dude, I've been talking. Hold on, I've been talking about it for weeks now. Since my birthday.
I played it. I played it when it first came out, but once Assassin's Creed came out, I put that shit down, and then, everything that came out over the holidays, I just started playing that shit too. So that's one of those games in my back burner I got to get back to. But I haven't even really touched Cyberpunk, to be honest with you. And I thought I'd be playing that like no life in that game. I haven't really touched anything. I've been doing a lot of shooting.
Too, though.
I'm at the range a lot lately. That's probably why. So that's why I've been spending my time. So
he's been shooting
but,
live
I'll see y'all
rounds,
next week.
man.
Shooting live rounds.
Yeah.
Right. So,
Nice,
I'll
brother.
see y'all next week.
Yes. Well, shout out to you guys. Shout out to the panel for putting up with me every Thursday. I definitely appreciate that. Dark, have you changed your mind on that duet at all?
No.
Yo, Callie is begging you, man. He is begging you.
He can beg all he wants. It's not gonna happen.
Yo, Callie, I'm trying, man. I'm trying to give you what you want. Maybe next week. Tune in next week. Maybe we'll have a new song. We'll go in. We might pull K Mega into it and do a trio. And maybe we'll pull the entire panel in and be a barbershop quartet.
Oh man.
No.
Dark is stranger than fiction.
But with 5 people. Get it? Quartet? 5 people. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Yo, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, definitely subscribe. We will be back again next Thursday. Prime time, baby. 8 p.m. for you guys. Yo, share this out. Let people know that we come together every Thursday and let them know that they are missing something great if they don't tune in to the next podcast. But until then, guys, we will see you next week. Have a great night, everybody.
Buy that damn Samurai Showdown. Sir X Man, stop bullshitting and buying other people like 20 damn games.
Ladies.
Get that Samurai Showdown. Hurry up.
Yeah, we're out, yeah.